ever since I went to Tadoba the first time, I have made a list of things I want to do once a year, and wildlife sighting has always been part of it. So I had wanted to do one, and as I was scrolling through Insta, I saw your profile. I was very impressed. I picked up the phone, called you, spoke to you a number of times to make sure you were able to give me what I would like. And just your demeanor, your conversation, your knowledge impressed me, and I signed up, though I didn't know you and I didn't know anybody on this group.
Actually, I was planning to visit Kanha from 2 to 3 years, because actually our family comes from Jabalpur, and Jabalpur is the center point for 3 tigers reserves, and Kanha is one of them, which I had not visited. The other 2 tiger reserves I visited, Pench and Bandhavgarh. So I wanted to visit Kanha from a very long time, and I was looking for tour operators, and I got to know about Mr. Shashank Birla through his YouTube videos, which were exceptionally good, and I contacted him through Instagram, and this whole plan came up.
আমার তো ভীষণ ভালো লাগলো কানহাতে গিয়ে আমি এতগুলো বাঘ দেখতে পেয়েছি। এটা আমি ভাবতেও পারিনি যে আমি এত বাঘ দেখতে পারবো। তার জন্য আমার গাইড এবং ড্রাইভার শশাঙ্ক বিড়লা এবং আমার যে আরও সমস্ত সহযাত্রী ছিল তাদেরকে আমি থ্যাঙ্কস জানাই। আমি সত্যি খুব আনন্দিত সবার সঙ্গে এইভাবে সাফারি করতে গিয়ে। এতগুলো বাঘ দেখতে পাবো আমি ভাবতেও পারিনি।
So she is at best very thankful to everybody for seeing so many tigers. And me too. Yes, tigers were many issues, but nature was very placid here. Nature was tranquil here, and this could give us solace, as many of the poets in literature experience. And this company of nature, I am tempted rather, and sees too.
So I think the first time we entered it kind of felt like entering Jurassic Park. And I remember that from the stories, the jeeps entering Jurassic Park, and it felt very similar. The barrier getting up, and then you're getting in with with the jeeps, and of course with the people who gives you that kind of company. But if I'm particularly speaking about the jungle, then initially I realized that the way you think about a jungle is there's got to be wildness all around you, but a jungle is quite diverse. There are meadows, there's wilderness, there are different kinds of rocks that again, things that you learn are much more than the things that you see, I feel. One thing that really struck me was how at different points there were different things that we could experience.
So I have a friend who I always talk to before I go on a wildlife trip, Ramalingam, and he told me, Jessie, you will enjoy Kanha because the landscape itself is so beautiful. I love the meadows, the sal forest, the trees, and the lakes. It's just so varied and so beautiful. You can just keep looking at the landscape itself. It's really nice.
And I could manage to see a herd of 50 to 60 Barasingha, or the golden deer, and this is the first time that I've seen Barasingha, even though I am from the same area. But this is the first time I saw the Barasingha, and I remember that oriental honey buzzard, how it was posing for us. I remember seeing the white head and the brown tail, and it was fantabulous. Apart from this, I remember seeing the jackals coming head on, and the barking deer running towards the side of the road. I saw the barking deer clearly.
The 5-6 jackals we saw, the 100 Barasinghas that we saw, the beautiful white-crested kingfisher, and so many other beautiful birds that we saw, the lots of gores, or the white-socked bison as we call them down south. So many different species of mammals and birds.
So it was just yesterday, we were just spotting some leopard, when the leopard was not coming, and we are in the process of finding a leopard in the bush and all that. And this was sort of experience. Ultimately, we were disappointed. But this disappointment was also beset with many experiences, that sensation. And that sensation was, I think, top of the list. Leopard sighting sensation. M1. Yeah.
যে হ্যাঁ ও যে রাস্তা ক্রস করলো ওইটা আমার খুব লেগেছে।
So crossing of Tiger M1, crossing the road, and we just
মানে চোখের সামনে যে আমি একটা ওরকম বড় বাঘ দেখতে পাবো এটা আমি ভাবতে পারি।
so such a magnificent thing she could not think of experiencing.
M1 was particularly memorable for me because of the way we saw it. We were going and then suddenly the car stopped. We didn't understand initially what it was, but then someone said Tiger is sleeping, and it was lying on the ground on the road, and that was kind of the experience we look forward to, right? The tiger on the road. Of course, it's in the jungle, but it's on the road, and that's something that Shashank told us that it's called a roadblock in terms of safari. So that's the first thing that that's one of the most memorable ones because it's right on the road, and then after some time, it got up by itself and it started walking towards us.
Oh, nature grooves. What do you say? This place reminds me of Kabini River Lodge run by Jungle Lodges and Resorts, because just like Nature Groove, they also have tented cottages where we stayed. So I was a bit nostalgic at that time. Overall, the property is in a very nice location, and the most best part about this property is when you go from this property to the Mukki gate every day for safaris, on every safari, you pass by the Bega villages of Samnapur and Basinghar. So you can see the Bega tribal life over here when you're going for safari, even before you enter the gate.
গুড এখানকার মানে সমস্ত স্টাফ এদের বিহেভিয়ার ডিলিংস বিউটিফুল।
So these all people nice. This ambience is fine. Yes, I told look this ambience that this gave me some sort of experience that many of the poets in English literature experience. Say I was remembering yesterday night rather, that skylark. Some skylark was inspiring Shelley, and that inspiration was his encounter with a skylark that was soaring high and high and high, and that time he thought of not that skylark but of humanity in general. So this is nice ambience, nice people, and they are all cooperating.
With their experience, they are able to sight a tiger even if you can see one stripe, right? And I think the first time I was quite surprised was when I think Aftar saw Sharmili from a long distance away, right? And Sharmili was just looking towards a different direction, and only its head or a part of its striped neck was visible. And it took us a while to notice it, but in a going jeep, the way Aftar just said tiger, I was like, wow, okay. And then that's the kind of experience. I understand that everybody has their own professional experience from what they do. But I mean, hats off to them. All of the drivers, all of the guides. So we had Pradeep as our designated driver, and he was, I think Shashank made a right choice.
Now the guides were exceptional. I mean, Shashank has, done his research really well, and he has put in a lot of effort in picking up each and every guide, along with the driver Pradeep ji. I mean, they're exceptional. The Pradeep ji was exceptionally good at driving, and he tried to show us as much as he could. And the guides Akbar, Akhtar, Preetam, Sukhwati, the female guide, and Sukhram. This is in chronological order of the safaris. They were exceptionally good. I remember seeing Neelam also with Akhtar. I've seen the famous tiger of Kanha Neelam with Akhtar, and what a sight she gave us.
Shashank is the best naturalist I have ever met. Not that I have met so many, but I have done a number of wildlife trips, always went with a resort, and the resort gave us a driver and a guide each day and whatever it was. But this time we had a naturalist. From the Raipur airport, the 4-hour drive to our resort in Kanha was so enlightening, because all the way Shashank was giving us data, anecdotes, stories, right from the number of tigers during British times, to the Maharaja who killed 140 tigers, to Lapsi Shikhara who actually tied his wife as a bait for a tiger. So it is great listening to him, and his data knowledge is fantastic.
Mr. Sang is perhaps more intelligent to have the bits of nature, everything he knows. And I told him, you are like an encyclopedia so of nature. So this is how he very much fascinated me, Mr. Shashank. Yes, kudos to him.
নেক্সট বার গেলে শশাঙ্কের সাথে এই জঙ্গল
So
সাফারিতে যাব।
Shashwati vows that whenever she moved for safari, she would be with you, with Shashank.
মানে নেচার গ্রুপে রাখাটাও আমার খুব ভালো লেগেছে, সেটা বলো।
Yes,
তাই না?
we are all thankful to this nature group and all that.
Amazing safari, guys. If you would like to in fact join us on our safari tours and expeditions, please do connect with us on the platforms mentioned below. And if you'd like to know more on India's wildlife and our protected areas, please do subscribe to our channel. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.